Hey everyone, this is Bill from CambodiYeah. You all said, we can't hear you, you need a mic. There you go. I dug out my old condenser mic because I'm not going to be spending a bunch of money on good equipment until I've moved to Cambodia because I'm saving up for that. I'm not a rich man. Once I get to Cambodia, you'll see improvements in quality gradually as I figure all this stuff out. I'm an old fart just trying to share some info. Bear with me. So you get to look at this for a while. Now, I'm going to talk about apartments in Cambodia, finding apartments and what to look for when you get them, and what apartments in Cambodia tend to have and what they usually rent out for. And you will be pleasantly surprised to know that you can live all of your expenses in Cambodia for probably less than you're paying for rent alone right now. So my first apartment in Siem Reap was $170 a month, and electricity is expensive in Cambodia, but it was shared between the different people in that apartment building. So it ran about $25 a month for me. So it wasn't much. And it's 25 kilowatts per hour pretty much everywhere, which is a bit expensive, maybe even more expensive than where you live now. But that's one of the very few things that are actually expensive in Cambodia. And the way to prevent that bill from being too high is just limit your air conditioning usage. And if money's not a problem to you and you want to run AC all day, cool. So the lowest I've seen when looking around for apartments is $30, and it was pretty much a hovel. It's like its entire kitchen was this little brick thing with a sink in it, and that was it. And a lot of Khmer people, they tend to cook squatting down on the floor, and my old knees are not going to put up with that, nor do I even want to, really. So a nice kitchen is something I definitely look for because I like to cook. And they range up to like 500 plus for like really quality luxury places. And while 500 would be extremely cheap by American standards, in Cambodia, that's luxury. So it's about the $300 to $500 range to where you're getting the really nice apartments. Generally, I look for stuff around 150 to 200, maybe squeezing up to 250, but generally between 150 to 200 for just a pretty decent apartment, and I don't need anything really luxurious. What you'll find for around the 100 to 175 range, perhaps, is a bed, a wardrobe, some seating, an AC unit, at least one, a shower and a toilet, probably right next to each other, a sink with a little bit of counter space, and maybe a little single or double burner stove thing, and some little fans on the wall. And that's about it for that range. When you start getting up to like 150 to 250, you'll have ceiling fans, more AC units, larger kitchens with more space and probably some more things in it, larger restroom, and some of them will start to have separation between the toilet and the shower, so you don't get the toilet all wet when you shower. And 300 and up, you get really nice furniture, probably multiple rooms, cupboards in the kitchen, a lot of space, larger bathrooms with probably like an entire wall between the toilet and the shower. And they get really nice looking. And even the $150 places look better than this place. You know, there's no carpet in Cambodia, and everything's bright, and just there's a lot of sunlight coming in, and they just look nicer. And also ones that you'll get for about 150 to 200 and over, a lot of them will start having art and decorations in them as well. Usually paintings of scenes of Cambodia or Angkor Wat or some guy with a cow out in the field or something like that. So one of the main things you want to think about when you're looking for apartments, and I'll let you know where to look for them soon, is noise. If you see chickens around, probably not a good place. Chickens are loud. You want to look for schools and pagodas. They tend to, schools have children running around and screaming. Pagodas often have speakers and they have chanting and they have music, stuff like that. You want to look for construction because that's definitely going to be loud. And if there's a vacant lot nearby, well, at the rate that Cambodia is expanding and growing, if you see a vacant lot right near your place, then probably within the next year, there's going to be construction. Let's see, pubs, bars, KTV places, restaurants, any of those really nearby, they're probably going to be loud at night. If you see poles with PA speakers or any kind of speakers on them, then you're probably going to get really tinny, loud stuff coming out of that. And one thing you always want to do when you're looking at an apartment is take a pass at back there at night and check out the noise levels around maybe 10 p.m. or something like that, when there would be noise from bars and places like that, and see if there's any places you missed that might be creating a lot of noise. And then, then if it's fine, then the next day go ahead and pay for the apartment. Things to check in the apartment. Make sure, obviously, there's at least one AC unit, preferably above your bed. Just having fans alone isn't going to be sufficient during the hottest part of the year. You're going to definitely want some AC there. You want to check the water pressure in the shower and the bum guns. If you just get a little trickle coming out of either one, it's not going to be fun. Check the Wi-Fi speed if you're going to be using the Wi-Fi that's available there. Most of the places, most of the apartment buildings will have like 10 Mbps and it's shared, so it's not really that great. If you really want to use that, you can get a Wi-Fi speed test app on your phone, like Speed Test by Ookla or something like that, and ask if you can connect to the Wi-Fi there really quick and just do a speed test and see if it's sufficient. If not, there are other options in Cambodia. Cellcard and Smart both have mobile Wi-Fi plans, so you can use your phone as a hotspot. And it's like $1 a month for 500 gigs of data. It's insanely cheap, and it's not bad for most purposes. If you really need better bandwidth for gaming, or you're just working and your work requires a higher bandwidth, you can go through places like there's Sinet, SINET. They have 50 megabytes per second for about $36 a month. And there's also Metphone. They have like $20 megabytes per second for $15, or 40 megabytes per second for about $35 per month. You want to make sure there's a gate there that locks and that you get a key. Theft is unfortunately a problem in Cambodia, especially when you're away from your place. And so most places have bars on the windows, and they'll have a big locking, closing gate. And just make sure they have a gate and a key for you. Also, if you end up getting a moto or a bicycle, you're going to want to lock it up there, and that gate will protect that as well. You just don't want unwanted people wandering around there. If there are big windows in the place, make sure they're not facing to the west, because the sun rises, makes the whole place really warm. Better not to have it facing that way. Check the outlets. Check where they're at, the placement of them in the apartment, because you know what you're going to be setting up in the apartment, like maybe your laptop or other things that you might have, and you want to make sure that they're in a place that works for you. Find out who to contact for repairs, find out their number, and find out if they speak English, because it's no use having their number if you can't talk to them. If they don't speak English, you might want to find a local friend who can translate for you, or see if they know anyone, something like that. People are usually pretty accommodating. Ask about trash, if there's a fee for trash removal, and where you put your trash. And if your kitchen has like a larger fuel tank for the stove, if it has a stove, find out about refills for that and how that goes. there are some sites to check. I will put the links down in the description for those. And there's a really good Facebook group called Cheap Rent Siem Reap. And there's all kinds of apartments on there. Most of them are pretty legit. There's not a lot of scams on that particular group. Some other groups are really scammy. But that one's not so bad. Most of them are quite good. And I don't know about Phnom Penh. I can look one up and put it in the description later. There are a couple of websites that are good. IPS is a great agency. They don't upcharge the rent and add a whole bunch to it or anything like that. They're pretty legit. And it's I'll add the link for that. And they serve all of Cambodia. No matter what city or town you're in, you'll be able to find places through there. There's Giant Estate, which serves Kampot and Siem Reap. And they have a few pretty good ones too. And so there are four main areas in Siem Reap that I know of for where you want to look. The northwest area, I'll just describe them by like the river going north and south, and then National Road 6, NR6 going east and west as the dividers. And the northeast portion is really lush and beautiful, and it's kind of mixed high-end places with more affordable places. And it's just, there's some beautiful walking areas up there. The trade-off is, and it's quieter there. The trade-off is that there's not a lot around there as far as shops, restaurants, all that. You'll have to take a tuk-tuk or a pass app more into town to get a whole bunch of things. Then the northwest section is more upscale, a lot of the big resorts and hotels and all of that kind of stuff. And that's for the more well-to-do places. The southwest area is the main central part of town. That's where Pub Street and Old Market and a lot of the stores are and all of that. That's the main hub of Siem Reap. And there's a lot of apartments there, but they're probably going to be towards the noisier side. But there's a lot of options. And then the southwest side around Wat Bo and I can't remember the name of it, but around that area, it's a mix. There's some noisy places, there's some quiet areas, there's a lot of just pockets. And each one of these areas I've described, each one of them has little pockets of good areas that you'll be able to find stuff in. So don't let any one of these descriptions deter you completely from an area, because there's always something decent to find, especially if you're using the sites that I gave you. So if anyone else has any other tips for apartments in Cambodia, or if you have any other questions, just let me know in the comments there, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. If I don't know, I can let you know who does. And I would love it if you would like this video and give me a bit of a subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.